Hi, my name is Brian, and I'm the High Pop Professor. Today, I'd like to share with you my small but meaningful Ken Griffey Jr. collection, my little small Ken Griffey Jr. PC from the late 80s to early 90s to the mid 90s and maybe just a touch after that. It is not large in size, but it is large in nostalgia and meaning for me, and I was very careful about which pieces I was targeting, curating, collecting, and also which ones I'm letting go of and trimming away from my collection as well. So we'll turn the camera around and enjoy. All right, so starting with my small but mighty Ken Griffey Jr. PC, we'll start with the chronological order again. And so some of these cards we'll begin with are not going to be particularly heavy hitters, but we'll sort of finish with those. So we'll do the first are cards that I have in my sort of top loader binder, and we'll then move from those to some of the bigger pieces that would be in my slab case and stuff like that. So first we have a couple Griffey rookies here. So we've got the Donruss rated rookie, of course. We got the Fleer, we got the Score. I do not have the Bowman, and at one point I did actually have the Topps traded, but eventually I sold it. It was a PSA assigned 9. And like I said, I've been doing a lot of selling recently, mostly to accumulate funds to target some more rarer or obscure pieces of what I'm looking for. So let's just go through a couple of these fun cards first before we get to some of the serious ones. I call these the fun ones because, none of these have really all that much value associated with them, but they are fun. Here's a Foot Locker card from 1991, I believe. And this is actually a gift from Iconic Al. And so here's a really cool Foot Locker Slam Fest card. Look at that. Call it oddball if you want to. I call it awesome. Here's a beautiful 91 Stadium Club. What an iconic image. What an iconic card. What an iconic player. And we'll keep it balanced with a beautiful 92 Topps Gold. This is a non-winner variety. Funny, I had to reacquire this card because I actually got a PSA 10 on one of them and had to sell it, but I still wanted the card, so I just got another one. And moving through the early 90s up to 94, how's this for an iconic image of Ken Griffey Jr. robbing a home run? Is beautiful 94 Protect Electric Diamond. Just gorgeous cards here. And like I said, not a whole lot of value with these, but that's okay. There's a beautiful Super Nintendo Ken Griffey Jr. card packed right in there with a Super Nintendo game. Now, these are actually hard to find in good condition. The PS9 of these things will run you up to $100, but I think I got this one for $8. So, yeah, if you don't need to get them in PSA, you can find great looking cards otherwise. Here's a 94 Ultra Home Run King. Really tough with these dark borders to get them in pretty good shape. The edges, and particularly the back edges, always tend to end up getting really, really chipped up here. There's a beautiful 94 Team Pinnacle from Series 2 Pinnacle, and I pulled this one myself actually from a box that was a birthday present. Also, indirectly, it was actually from Iconic Al as well. Here's another sweet 94 Leaf Limited Gold All-Stars. And this is also a really tough one, condition-wise. Really tough to find one that is in really great shape. I've toyed with the idea of sending this in for grading, but as with so many of my cards, I feel like I could send them in, but so many of the cards are kind of in between where they might get an 8, they might get a 9, and so is it really worth it anyway? Probably not. If grading were cheaper, if it were still at that like $6 level, $10 level as from the late 90s, that might be one thing. But here's a really cool card, 96 Pinnacle Zenith Mosaics. And this is the best mosaic in the whole thing because it's got Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., and big unit Randy Johnson. And so of all the teams there, these three mega stars on one card, this is a power-packed card right here. And so I sought this one out specifically because A, I love Dufex, but B, I mean, come on, how can you go wrong with that trio? And here we go, one last Dufex shine to finish up some of these small ball cards. Beautiful, 96. It might not be as iconic of a pose as his 95, where he's blowing the big bubble, but boy, something about this card just it just does it for me. Takes me right back, and I just absolutely love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I have a couple other cards like this. I just pulled out a few from my top loader binder that I thought were really cool and I love. And like I said, none of these are all that pricey. But I will say I probably have about a dozen cards in my larger card Griffey PC. And again, as with my Barry Bonds collection, I don't really foresee my Griffey PC getting much larger than it is now. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other cards that we have. And we'll, again, go kind of chronologically here. And we'll start with maybe the most iconic one of them all. Here's a beautiful 89 Upper Deck. And I found my copy that I'm really, really happy with. They call this an 8.5 centering. I say, okay. I differ with that opinion. They only gave that, though, because of the centering of the hologram. And that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, sometimes the hologram on the back doesn't even print all the way. Sometimes a corner of it's missing. But that's okay. And so this Griffey is in a beautiful BGS 8.5. But it looks really minty to me. In my mind, it's a mint card. Absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of other rookie cards, here's a beautiful Donruss the Rookies. And here's a Mint 9 Autograph 9. And this is one of those cards. I love the card. I absolutely think this card is just phenomenal. To get the grade of a 9 with that beautiful autograph. Now, they gave this an auto 9, I think, just because if you look really, really carefully, some of the, I don't want to say the pen beat it up on it, but just some of the lines are a little fuzzy, I guess, around the edge of the auto. I don't know. I mean, at arm's length, it looks exactly as a Ken Griffey Jr. autograph should look, so I'm not bothered by it. But again, unfortunately, this is one of those kind of cards that I'm just going to have to sell to get some additional funds to try and get some of these rarer Greg Maddux cards. And part of the reason I'm selling that off is because, well, the question is, how many Griffey autographs does one need? I've heard it said before that you can't have too many Ken Griffey Jr. autographs. And, well, they are beautiful. It's true. But it's just that I already have a couple more. And so here's one of them that I have. And I do have a beautiful autographed Diamond King PC. And this is one of the shining crowns of my Diamond King autograph collection. Beautiful. This is an older style of Griffey autograph. He shaped it beautifully around his face, avoided scribbling over his face. And this is sitting in a delightful Mag Pro case. And it's got a Beckett authentication sticker on the back, so this has been authenticated. And I just absolutely love autographed Diamond King. So I figure if I've already got an autographed Diamond King or Griffey, do I really need a rookie auto? I don't know. All right, marching on. Now we're in the early 90s. Here's a card that I've shown before, and that's okay. I love it. I will show it again sometimes. Here's a 92 Donruss Elite Ken Griffey Jr., numbered to 10,000. And boy, these things, it's one thing, we see shiny cards nowadays. It's like, ho-hum, shiny cards. But back in 92, I mean, think about what 92 Donruss cards just in general looked like. And the way that these cards would just pop. Oh my gosh. You pull an Elite, that's a hefty card. And this is sitting in a beautiful Beckett Mint 9. This is not a weak grade. I think this is a very strong 9. I would not ever consider getting this reholdered, though. I think it is just great as it is. Next card's kind of an unusual one. But I actually, this is a 93 score, the franchise, kind of a tough insert. This was like a 1 per box type insert, something like that. And not only was it about 1 per box, 1 in 36 packs, something like that, but there were like 30 players in the set. There was someone from like every team in here. And so, yeah, you had to go, if you're trying to get a guy like Griffey or Bonds or Frank Thomas, you have to dodge around guys like, Jeff King or Carlos Baerga, who's also in here. So the true odds of pulling a Griffey are actually 28 in the set. So 12 of 28, there you go. But I also love this card. I actually obtained this card through a trade when I was little, because an acquaintance of mine who had collected cards managed to have this card, which I acknowledged at that time it was a very expensive card and it was a very rare card. But when I acquired it, I was realizing too that it had like wrinkles in it and it was kind of really damaged, and I was mad at myself because it wasn't in that good of a shape, and so I was really sad about it. Anyway, I decided to, as an adult, acquire this in a PSA assigned 9. And so, tough grade for the dark bordered card from the early 90s. Really tough to not have whitening on the edges. The first version I got of this card looked really good, and I was going to send one in to get graded until I saw that one of the corners had some black ink on the white edge of the corner, and someone had touched it up. And so it would have gotten the color added designation. So thankfully, I was able to catch it before I sent it in. And then so I resumed my quest to find one like this, and so I did. I found one that met my eye. I found one that had to pay for it, but boy, is that lovely. All right, moving on. 94, and this is the other part of the reason why I'm okay, I think, selling that rookie autograph is because, well, look at this card here. This is a 94 Holoview. This is an SP Holoview Blue Ken Griffey Jr. And this card, I mean, it's got the hologram right on there that looks like it was made for a signature. And so we've got this beautiful, beautiful bold signature right on there. And yeah, this is one of the everything about this, the color match of everything on this card, the Holoview, the fact that it's Griffey. I mean, the auto pops. It looks like it was made for this autograph. So this to me is just sort of a very special card, and I love it. And in conjunction with his older style autograph, I think between these two, I kind of have the Griffey auto. I've got all the autograph of Griffey I think I need for my collection at this time, and so I feel like I can probably let the other one go. All right, moving on to some beautiful Dufex technology. And I'm actually considering, whoops, I forgot to cover the grade up on this one. Oh well, it is a Mint 9. I do have one ungraded that I think I probably may sell this Mint 9 for the right price. Keep the ungraded one, because why not? But I love some of these early Dufex shines are just fantastic. And now we move on to, I think, one of the most innovative years in the hobby, 1995. And boy, do I just absolutely love these cards from 95. Let's go ahead and right out of the gate, let's talk about this 95 Pinnacle White Hot. This was maybe one of the first, I keep thinking about iconic firsts, and it was it's not the first, but one of the first insert parallels. I think the first actual insert parallel might be the Holoview set from the year before. This 94 Holoview, they came with a red die cut where they took an entire parallel of the insert. So the blue Holoviews weren't that rare, I think 1 in 12 packs, something like that. But the red Holoview die cuts were much, much tougher. I want to say that was like 1 in 72 or something like that. But these, similarly, the red hot inserts were not that tough to get, maybe 1 in 12, 1 in 18 packs, something like that, maybe 2 per box. The white hots, they didn't even put the odds on there. And so, and only the white hots had this amazing etched Dufex in there. And so this card is just incredible. And I am kind of infatuated with this set. It's one of my very favorite sets. I have the Greg Maddux, I have the Barry Bonds, I have the Griffey. I'm not sure I'd want to go for the entire set. Like, I don't think I need a Will Clark, but boy, I almost can't help myself when I see these things. This is in a PSA assigned 8. And I get the 8 because, mostly because, there was a sale of a 10 not that long ago for $2,700, which is absurd to me. And so I'm okay with it having one little touch of white in the bottom corner. and paying a very, very, very small fraction of the price for that. And it's on the back only. You can't even see it from the front. So I am absolutely fine with that. But boy, do I love these Dufex cards, and boy, do I love them. 94, 95 Dufex. Man, those are just phenomenal, phenomenal cards. But speaking of 95, we're not done with 95 just yet. Oh, no. No, 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 no. One of my very, very favorite refractors ever. We have 95 Bowman's Best. And boy, these cards, these early refractors with all the etching in the world on them. Man, this is just beautiful. A lot of times these cards are really, really far off centered one way or the other. This one is just magnificent. There is almost no hulking detectable at all in this thing. I really can't see any. The centering is quite good. And so I honestly don't understand why this card got a PSA assigned 8. But I am not complaining. Because I get this gorgeous beauty for a nice discount. Look at that. And this one does say refractor on the bottom. There are variants out there that do not say that. Most of them do. But boy, is this card amazing. Now, you gotta be careful looking for a card like this online, because when you see cards like this online, sometimes there's the jumbo version. They don't tell you that, or they're, you have to look very carefully, make sure, because the jumbos don't sell for quite as much. In fact, they're way, way cheaper. But we're not done with 95 yet, because we have one more coming here. Oh boy, 95 Finest Refractor with the peel removed. And I know you're wondering, but no, I did not remove the peel. It was like this when I got this card. But boy, is this card phenomenal. Wow. I mean, we are talking a hulk-free surface, beautiful, riotous shine. Oh, man. Oh, this card. Oh, this card. I got quite a deal on this card. This is a PSA assigned 8, but again, you wouldn't know it. I can't really see much aside from the fact that there is a refractor line right there. The centering, which is oftentimes iffy at best on this set. Well, like the 90s commercial said, it's never iffy if it's Griffey. And boy, I just love, love, love this. And again, this one does say refractor on the back, right up the side. Right there, refractor. What a gorgeous card. So I got this card for, gosh, what did I get this? $380. And this is in a PSA assigned 8. Just, what was it, 2 days ago, there was an auction for a PSA 7 that ended around $430. Now, to be fair, that one had the peel on it. And so I'm wondering if sometimes these cards get a slight premium for having the peel intact. I personally don't really understand it, but okay. And boy, I would hate to remove a Dufex card as beautiful as this White Hot. So if we're gonna remove it, we'd better replace it with a different Dufex card. Look at this, 96 Select En Fuego, beautiful etching. And with this card, look at the beautiful color contrast here. I mean, my goodness, like the teal of that jersey against the bright red flames of the En Fuego and the etching. Man, these cards, they do not make them like they used to, I tell you. I wish cards still had Dufex. Like collectors today, if they're only doing modern, ultra modern, have they ever held these in hand to see how amazing these cards are? I do wonder if it, whoop, there goes one. I have to wonder. All right, and last but not least, marching up through the years, 97. Got one last one. Beautiful Donruss Power Alley from 96. This is a card that is serial numbered. Now, the first 500 of these were die cut on the edges. There was 2 little diamond die cuts on the edges here. This card is not. It is not one of the first 500 of the 5,000 print run that was there. But still, it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful card. And I am just thrilled to have been able to pick up this card. I probably got a better deal on this card than I had any right to. I wasn't looking for this card specifically, but this is such a beautiful, gorgeous card. It's kind of like a cross between the atomic refractor and the X-fractor design. It actually has some of those little diagonals built in here. But it was Donruss, and it wasn't, you know, wasn't Topps Chrome or Bowman Chrome or anything like that. And part of the reason I got such a good deal on this card is because this is sitting in a PSA assigned 7. But again, you wouldn't know it just looking at this thing. I mean, I guess I could be telling you any number I want that's behind that sticker, but there's no reason to do that. But still, I was able to pick it up for, I think, $17. That's kind of silly, I think, because look at this thing. Alrighty, well, thank you for coming along with me and sharing in my joy and enjoying this small but mighty early to mid-90s Ken Griffey Jr. collection. And I hope you have a great day.